But we as a continent are now defining ourselves.
In the news, all three abducted Greenfield University students found dead. Sudan threatens legal action against Ethiopia over dam. UK pulls down notice announcing asylum for members. Nigerian breweries' profit for first quarter soars 39% on expanding sales. And in sports, Real Madrid president insists Super League will return. Details shortly. Hello, this is TS Television, your digital first Pan-African News Network. I'm Musaze Isesela, and this is TS News 360. All three students abducted from Greenfield University in Kaduna State have been reportedly found dead, according to an official report. The incident was announced Friday following an escalation in the mass kidnappings across northern Nigeria carried out by criminal gangs also known as bandits. Gunmen attacked the private university in the Nigerian northwestern state on Tuesday, killing one staff member and taking an unknown number of students. It was the fifth known attack on a school or college since December 2020. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic have vowed to sustain its current industrial action until the unresolved details in its demands are addressed by the federal government. President of the union, Anderson Ezebe, during a press briefing on Friday in Abuja, declared his disappointment at government's attitude towards resolving the industrial disagreement. Recall that the union had on the 6th of April 2021 began an industrial action demanding the Nigerian government to fulfill the resolutions of the 99th meeting of its National Executive Council.
Conclusion of ongoing moves to ensure the recall of victimized officers of our union, the constitution of an interministerial committee to resolve all contending issues against the release of County's 15 migration areas for the Lower Keda. The involvement of the Federal Ministry of Education in resolving issues around the implementation of IPs in the sector, the contentious letter on tax liabilities from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and the release of promotion areas in the sector. Following the consideration of the offers as presented, the National Executive Council of our union yesterday resolved to sustain the strike action until the unresolved details in the offer as presented are sorted out in the meetings expected in the coming days. Some of the issues are still left hanging. For instance, the issue of the Infrastructure Revitalization Fund. We would like to see the funds drop or approvals communicated to our union and not just an offer. On the issue of the release of the areas of the new minimum wage, like we said, that is not too much for this government to carry. We are expecting an immediate release of the funds. It's just in the neighborhood of 4 billion for the entire sector. We expect that these funds will be released. And then some of the machineries already outlined for the other actions that are process-led, like where committees are supposed to be set up. We also would like to see the constitution of those committees, and in those committees.
Unknown gunmen suspected to be members of the terrorist group Boko Haram reportedly attacked Gaidam, Yobe State, the hometown of the acting police inspector general Usman Baba Akali, an incident which set residents to scamper for their lives. Soldiers have since been deployed in the community. Although details of the attack were sketchy at the time of filing this report, but the police public relations officer in the state, ASP Dongus Abdul Karim, confirmed the attack and said an Air Force jet had been sent to provide assist for the ground troops. Professor Mujid Olaide Laisu, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Lautech, Ogbomoso in Oyo State, has been appointed as the acting Vice Chancellor. Mujid Olaide Laisu is a professor of plant physiology, Department of Pure and Applied Biology. It was earlier reported that the former Vice Chancellor, Professor Michael Olugunde, was instructed to step down. Some unknown gunmen have attacked the home of the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, killing at least 2 security operatives. It was learned that the gunmen invaded the government's residence in his Omuma hometown of Oru East local government in the early hours of Saturday. Gunfire during the attack led to the death of the 2 security men. A source revealed that the gunmen also burned some parts of the building and vehicles. The incident was confirmed by the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelumba. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network TS Television, and you're watching News 360. More stories will come your way after the break. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The call for the resignation of sack of the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Ali Patami, over his alleged support for terrorist groups has left a crack in the House of Representatives. While the spokesman, Benjamin Kalu, said the House was ready to hear a motion by the minority leader, Ndudi Elumelu, on the need to suspend or sack the minister, the minority caucus asked the Speaker to forward Elumelu's position as resolution of the House to President Muhammadu Buhari. The caucus is also demanding an apology from Kalu for engaging in what is described as personal attack on Elumelu. Moving on to stories across Africa, a potential new malaria vaccine in Burkina Faso has proven to be highly effective in a trial in babies, bringing relief to the African continent. With this development, it is believed that some of the malaria case load in Africa will be reduced drastically or kicked out completely by the year 2015. The mosquito-borne disease kills almost 500,000 young children yearly. Researchers leading the trial confirmed in statement that the candidate vaccine developed by scientists at Britain's University of Oxford and called R21/Matrix-M showed up to 77% efficacy in the year-long trial of 450 children in Burkina Faso. Thousands of Chadians paid their respects to the past President Idris Deby at his funeral after he was killed earlier this week during a clash with rebels. Among the foreign leaders, there was France President Emmanuel Macron, for whom Chad is a key ally in the fight against jihadists in the region. Sudan warned Friday it could take legal action against Ethiopia if it goes ahead with plans to fill a mega dam on the Blue Nile without a deal with Khartoum and Cairo. Water Minister Yasser Abbas also said in a tweet that Ethiopia has raised objections to an invitation by Sudan to attend three-way talks to discuss the controversial dam. Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia have been locked in inconclusive talks for nearly a decade over the filing and operation of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, which broke ground in 2011. Cairo has regarded the dam as an existential threat to its water supplies, while Khartoum fears its own dams will be harmed if Ethiopia fills the reservoir without a deal. Now moving on to stories in the international scene, reports from Indian hospitals say patients are dying as a result of a shortage of oxygen as COVID-19 case numbers and deaths surges high for a third day running. India has recorded nearly 1 million infections in 3 days, with 346,786 new cases overnight into Saturday. At the Jaipur Golden Hospital in Delhi, 20 people died overnight because of a lack of oxygen. The government says it is deploying trains and the Air Force to transport supplies to hard-hit areas. The number of deaths across India rose by 2,624 in the 24 hours to Saturday, up from 2,263 on Friday. You are still watching TS News 360. More stories after this time out. Just stay with us. And welcome back. The British government has pulled down the notice it published regarding its asylum policy for pro-Biafra groups like Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, and Movement for the Actualization of Biafra, MASOB. In an email sent to Radio Now and signed by Hannah Donson, Senior Communications Officer, News Desk at the Home Office, the British government said the policy is being reviewed and uploaded once it is ready. The UK government did not give a time frame when the updated policy will be uploaded to their website. The UK Visas and Immigration (UKVI) had recently released new guidelines to its decision makers on how to consider and grant asylum applications by members of Biafran secessionist groups. Indonesia's Navy changed the status of its missing submarine from submerged to sub-sank on Saturday as a naval chief presented debris believed to be from the vessel at a news conference. Authorities now expect to carry out an evacuation process to recover the KRI Nanggala 402 submarine and its crew when they pinpoint its exact location. This was made known by Indonesia's Navy Chief of Staff, Yudo Margono. The latest update came as hopes faded for the 53 crew members who were expected to have run out of oxygen early on Saturday. So far, no sign of them has been found. Now moving on to business, the UK and Australia have agreed on the vast majority of a free trade deal. After talks on Friday in London, the two said now aim to seal a deal by June. Both countries are confident the remaining issues will be resolved and will now enter a sprint to agree the outstanding details with the aim of reaching agreement in principle. It is estimated a deal could add €500 million, which is $694 million to UK GDP over the long term. And Heineken-backed Nigerian Breweries PLC Friday announced how its profit from January to March swelled by 39.1%, backed by a significant advance in sales. Net revenue for the period jumped to $105.6 billion, 27% stronger than the figure posted in the first quarter of the last year. Nigeria's biggest beer maker stated this in an audited earnings report. Profit before tax rose to $11.5 billion from $8.3 billion a year earlier. Post-tax profit climbed to $7.7 billion, which is 39.1% higher than $5.5 billion recorded in the same period of 2020. Total assets contracted by 0.10%, largely resulting from a tumble in cash and cash equivalents from $30.4 billion to $18.4 billion. The Federal Accounts Allocation Committee (FAAC) has shared a total of $681.33 billion as March 2021 Federation revenue to the federal, state, and local government councils and relevant agencies in the country. In the month of March 2021, 154 billion naira was transferred to the non-oil revenue savings, and the balance in the excess code account was $72.413 million. This was contained in a communique issued at the end of the virtual meeting of the Federal Account Allocation Committee for April 2021. The gross statutory revenue for the month of March 2021 was 466.687 billion naira. Value-added tax revenue was 181.712 billion naira, and exchange gain was 2.931 billion naira. The sum of 30 billion naira was added as augmentation, bringing the total distributable revenue to 681.330 billion naira. This is the Digital First Pan-African News Network Church Television. You are watching News 360. More stories after the break. Welcome back. Now we'll move over to entertainment stories. Caitlyn Jenner's announcement to run for California governor has met with a lot of criticism. Jenner wrote on Friday, "I'm in. Sacramento needs an honest leader with a clear vision." But it seems this announcement couldn't sink well as many responded with hell no. The Jenner also responded, well, many people on social media want Jenner. Nigeria model and the former Big Brother Nigeria housemate Omoshola Kola Oburu seems to have given up on finding a soulmate as he declared that true love is hard to find and it is not by force to get married. The television reality star also stated that sometimes your soulmate is money, urged his followers to stop forcing relationships. He also advised people who mount pressure on unmarried people online to stop doing so, as it isn't by force to get married. Omoshola was one of the finalists at the Pepper Dem edition of the popular television reality show Big Brother Naija and is still single. Moving on to sports, Real Madrid president Florentino Perez has said the 12 clubs who were part of the European Super League could not abandon it due to binding contracts, promising that the project would return after a period of reflection. Perez was one of the leading figures in the breakaway competition, which was unveiled last Sunday, only to fall apart within days when all 6 English clubs involved withdrew and others followed. But Perez, whose club is one of the 3 teams along with Barcelona and Juventus, yet to abandon the project, said it was not so simple for clubs to leave. Manchester United midfielder Fred admits a lot of clubs have their eye on fellow Brazilian Rafinha, with the Red Devils among those said to be monitoring the progress of a tricky winger at Leeds. Old Gunnar Solskjaer could get another look at the talented 24-year-old on Sunday, with Marcelo Bessel hoping to see a key part of his plans shake off a knock in time to figure against each rivals at Elland Road. Fred is eager to see a compatriot miss out due to the obvious threat that he poses to the Red Devils, but can appreciate why a man approaching the end of a productive debut campaign in England is attracting plenty of interest. And that's a wrap-up on TS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African News Network. For more updates, do visit our website www.tstvnetwork.com, or do follow and like TS Television Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do stay with us and enjoy more programming on TS Television. I'm Musa Zeh, it's Esele. Thanks for watching.